god brothers left. When Tamal-Krishna Maharaj left, Tamal-Krishna Maharaj was very close friend for Pankajam Prabhu. He considered Tamal-Krishna Maharaj his bigger brother. So when he left, Tamal-Krishna Maharaj was in Mayapur, and he was going to leave, and on the way he left. So his body was brought back, and there was a pit, and a hole was made, and his body was placed. Then Pankajam Prabhu was sitting around this hole, and Maharaj's body was placed, and he was throwing the mati one by one, thinking, I want to go there. I want to go inside the pit and live together with Tamal-Krishna Maharaj. How he could just live without me, he was feeling so sad. Then after Gora Govinda Maharaj left, again he sat next to the pit, throwing the little mati, thinking, I want to go there. I cannot tolerate this separation. Then Bhakti-tirtha Maharaj left. Again he sat next to the pit. He threw the mat. I want to go with him. I cannot tolerate separation. Then Sridhar Maharaj left. Then again he sat next to the pit. He threw the mat, thinking, I want to jump in that hole and I want to go with him. He was feeling such a separation. Then Bhakti-tirtha Maharaj left, and he was so devastated. One by one, his dear brothers leaving. Still he stayed. But he was carrying all this pain of separation all these many years. So many devotees ask, why Pankajam Prabhu left so early? What about us? What pain we are feeling? But what about Pankajam Prabhu? He had been carrying all this pain for all these many, many years, which was uncalculable. We cannot even imagine. So is that fair that Krishna finally took him back to the place where he does not suffer anymore? So we are of course sad, but we should feel happy for Pankajam Prabhu that finally Krishna took him to his eternal abode. And coming back to the point of Mother Earth. Mother Earth is feeling separation, but she never be separated. But thinking about that, actually, every day of Brahma, Krishna comes. One day of Brahma is 43 lakh times 1,000. That is one day of Brahma. Because Sahasra Yuga, one Yuga cycle is 43 lakh and 1,000 Yuga cycle. So 43 lakh times 1,000 years is Brahma's day. And every year Krishna comes. So Mother Earth, she is lamenting Krishna has left. But Krishna comes every day of Brahma. So she will be able to see Krishna again and again. And plus, Brahma's life is 311 trillion 40 billion years. So that many years, Mother Earth has opportunity to see Krishna every day of Brahma. And plus, in between that, Krishna comes as different incarnation, like a wave of ocean. There's a constant appearance of Krishna's incarnation. And then at the end, she will be united with Krishna. So we feel separation from Krishna, we feel separation from pure devotee, we feel separation from Prabhupada, but one day we will be together. And even now, we are not be separated. So this is the first part of today's class, and we are going to go to the second part. Second part is Parikshita Maharaj dealing with earth, and Dharma. Earth means cow, and Dharma, bull, and Kali. So the Parikshita Maharaj dealing with us, he said, oh, why are you so sad? Somebody is beating you. What is the cause of your suffering? He wanted to mitigate the suffering of the cow, Mother Earth. Until then, there was no suffering for the earth because Krishna was there, and under the Krishna's pure devotee, the earth was always protected, full of hill was full of mineral rivers and forest, and everything was full of opulence, Krishna's footprint and Krishna's pure devoted footprint. So she was very happy, and Parikshit Maharaj was so capable king, emperor, but now he see the Kali is beating. So he wanted to restore the happiness of the earth. So when we say the earth, that means Jambud Deep, because the description is the earth they rule was surrounded by sea, because Mother Goramandala Bhumi was surrounded with 7 oceans, different oceans like liquid and salt ocean and sugarcane juice water. So the surrounded by salt ocean is surrounded by salt ocean is Jambud Deep. Within Jambud Deep there was 9 islands, and then there is within 9 islands there is a Bharatavarsha in the most south part. That is sometimes called Earth, but in this description, the Earth Parikshit Maharaj was ruling was Jambud Deep, whole of all 9 islands within the salt ocean. So Parikshit Maharaj was emperor, but then he inherited from Maharaj Yudhishthira. Maharaj Yudhishthira became emperor by his own ability and power, because he was supposed to become a king, but Duryodhana didn't want to give, so he was given the Valent land. That was Kandava-prastha. Then later on he established Indra-prastha, and he performed Ashwamedha Yajna, and he established himself as emperor. And then after the battlefield of Kurukshetra, he took over again his own kingdom of Indra-prastha as well as Hastinapur, and he was established as emperor by performing Ashwamedha Yajna. But Parikshit Maharaj, it's not that because he was inherited, he doesn't have any power, but because like sometimes son of the boss of the company, even though he has no ability, but just because he is a son, he becomes the next boss of that company. But Parikshit Maharaj was, he himself very qualified. He himself performed 3 Ashwamedha Yajna. So he went around, conquer everybody already, which was his, but he established himself as emperor. So he was so powerful. So that was his relationship with the cow, the earth. He established his supremacy over the earth to protect the earth, so that the earth will be full of opulence and fully protected. Then the Buddha, he wanted to establish the Dharma, because that was Krishna's will, and that was Yudhishthira Maharaj's will. Dharma Saksar Bhagavad-panita. The Dharma is established by Krishna. It's not by demigod, it's not by demon, it's not like by siddhas and channelers, and it's not even any higher sages or anybody like that. It was established only by Krishna himself. And Dharma, for us, Dharma is in conditional state, is vṛṣaṁ. And in liberated states, religion, Dharma means devotional service. So when we are conditioned, because we have to engage our conditioned nature, we engage in vṛṣaṁ, and through vṛṣaṁ we develop more pure Krishna consciousness. So liberated states, Dharma means Krishna consciousness, pure devotional service. That's what Krishna wanted to establish. In previous time, he wanted to establish Yudhishthira Maharaj, because Yudhishthira Maharaj was Dharmaraj. He was a son of Dharma, and he himself was called Dharmaraj. Pandu, when he found out Kunti can bring the demigod, and Pandu wanted to have a son. First thing he thought was, okay, I'm going to have a son. I want to have a son to be able to rule the kingdom with righteousness. So he wanted to have the Dharma. So he asked Kunti to call Dharma. So the son was born. That is Yudhishthira Maharaj. He is personification of Dharma, and he was a son of Dharma. And Krishna wanted to establish Dharma, so he wanted to establish Yudhishthira Maharaj, who is a Dharma's son, and he himself was Dharma personified, and he was a pure devotee. so that Krishna can establish religious principle in both ways, dharma, varna ashrama in conditional state, and pure devotional service for our liberated state. But Yudhishthira Maharaj, he is such a soft-hearted person. For 13 years after gambling much, he just tolerated. He didn't want to attack Duryodhana or anybody like that. And even after 13 years, he wanted to compromise. Just give a few villages, then we will not fight. You stay there and we will just stay in a village. But Duryodhana didn't want to give. So there was war. Even during war, many occasions Yudhishthira Maharaj said, let Duryodhana have the kingdom. I will go to the forest. I will be happy there. Like that, Yudhishthira Maharaj was like not very much inclined to kill Duryodhana. But Krishna wanted Duryodhana to die. He wanted Duryodhana to die and Yudhishthira Maharaj to be established as a king because Krishna wanted Dharma to be established. At the end of the Kurukshetra, Duryodhana was sitting in the bottom of the lake. Everybody else was killed, only Duryodhana, Kripavana, and Kripacharya, and Ashvatthama left. So Duryodhana was sitting under the bottom of lake. So basically Pandava already won. Yudhishthira became emperor. But Yudhishthira is such a person, he called out to the lake, oh Duryodhana, come out. You just pick one of us, and if you win, you become emperor. We lost, you win. And Krishna heard that, and Krishna said, oh, what a jest. Yudhishthira made such a big sin and gambling much because Yudhishthira so soft, went through so much and battle of Kurukshetra. After all that, he won and he's going to be emperor. Then now he's telling Duryodhana, just fight with one of them and you are emperor. Krishna was hearing, what is this, Yudhishthira? What's wrong with Yudhishthira? But Yudhishthira was all serious. And then, of course, Duryodhana picked Bhima and fought. And then Bhima smashed the thigh of Duryodhana and he is lying down. And Yudhishthira Maharaj went to Duryodhana with tears in eyes, saying, oh brother, I'm feeling so sorry for you. I pity for you because your destiny, you are lying down here. And he was feeling actually sorry, like a bad brother or something. My brother, you are lying down here. You lost all your friends, your brothers, your military force. You left everything. You are lying down here. I feel so sorry. And he was crying with tears. And Duryodhana, hearing that, he got more angry. He didn't want Yudhishthira to say that. Yudhishthira was feeling sorry with full heart, but Duryodhana is such a person, he was feeling bad. What is this guy like that? Seeing that, Krishna came, put the arm around Yudhishthira, said, Yudhishthira, let's go. Don't even look at him, he's already dead. He's just a piece of wood. Don't become enemy, don't become friend. Just live here. We don't even think about, don't even look at, don't even come into our thought of him. Just ignore, let's go. You won the battle, you are emperor. Hearing that, Duryodhana started to shout at Krishna. He's in pain, he's dying. He can't even hold himself, but somehow he put the arm like this, and he said to Krishna, oh Krishna, you are the son of the slave of Kamsa. That means Vasudeva was under Kamsa's harassment, so Krishna is son of Vasudeva, so he called Krishna. He's dying, and he said, oh Krishna, you are the son of slave of Kamsa. Such a nasty way of calling. He said, Krishna, don't you know that it is your evil scheme that I was smashed? I was fighting with Bhima very fairly, but you don't think I didn't notice? You gave the glance to Bhima to give the idea to smash my thigh. And it was you gave such a wrong idea to kill Bhishma, Dronacharya, Karna, Brishwara. They are invincible warriors. But Krishna, you are such a silly person, you gave wrong idea how to kill them unfairly. So you are going to suffer, and Pandavas, you are going to suffer because you killed this warrior unfairly. But I have performed great sacrifice, studied the Vedas, and I'm going to die as hero. I'm going to the heaven. But Pandavas, you're going to suffer like anything. Just he's dying and he's saying like that. And Krishna just took Yudhishthira and Pandavas and they are leaving. Like that, and till the last moment, Duryodhana like that. And Duryodhana is personification of Kali. And it's said that Kali-yuga started at the moment Battle of Kurukshetra end. So personified Kali, Duryodhana was killed by the will of Krishna. And very moment, Kali himself entered. But because Krishna was present, he could not spread his influence. But as Krishna left after 36 years because of Gandhari's curse, then Kali's influence started to manifest. Then Parikshita Maharaj saw today's scene. Kali was beating bull and cow. And he asked, what is the cause of your suffering? I'm going to mitigate your suffering. I'm going to punish the Kali. The question was asked, why Parikshita Maharaj only punished? Why didn't kill? Krishna made sure that Duryodhana died. But Parikshita Maharaj didn't. He only punished. He said, you cannot live in my kingdom because you are attacking innocent animal. You are attacking dharma. You are attacking the earth. You cannot live in my kingdom. In my kingdom, nobody should suffer, so you have to not live here. He was ready to kill, but Kali surrendered. So for the kṣatriya, to kill somebody who surrendered is unheard of. So he did not kill, but then he said, okay, you can stay in a place where meat eating, gambling, illicit sex, and intoxication was going on. And then Kali said, oh great, but there is no such a place in your kingdom. Give me one more place. And then he said, okay, where there is a gold. Because where there is gold, there is desert. So Kali was happily accepted that proposal. So he got the 5 place. But there actually hardly any other such a place. So that was how Parikshit dealt. Now we see how Lord Chaitanya dealt with age of Kali. He came in the beginning of Kali-yuga, and he spread Harinam Sankirtan. Because apart from this 4 place plus gold, 5 place, another place is wherever Krishna, there cannot be the influence of Kali. So holy name is Krishna himself. So he spread Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So where there is Hare Krishna Mahamantra, there is no Kali's influence. And Prabhupada came, and he gave this holy name. We should chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Then he gave 4 regulative principles. This 4 regulative principles, we follow, then Kali cannot come to this place. Wherever devotee are chanting holy name and following 4 regulative principles, there is no way Kali can enter. And gold for us, we don't use gold so much, but the money. So whatever money we have, understanding this is Krishna's money, we use for Krishna's service. So in that way, we will not be able to be attacked by the Kali. So, is there any question or comment? Yes. Mike.
In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that devotee is free from propensity to find faults in others. And it says that speech should be palatable, and not offensive to people. And one should see the good and overlook the bad. But in August 1977, Srila Prabhupada said that he described his Western disciples as white aborigines and compared them to the monkeys that Lord Ramachandra had an army of monkeys. So Prabhupada says, similarly, I've gathered this army of monkeys that's helped me to spread Krishna consciousness. So it seems like that could be taken as offensive by white people or aborigines. Even the monkeys could be offended by that. And then in his purports, Prabhupada seems to just seems so critical about many different people, like the Sudras, Dvija Bandhus, Maya Devi women, men who are attached to women. So many rascal scientists, government leaders that eat their children, and so it's almost like including everybody. The Sahaj, Prakriti Sahajas that say it, Radhakund, and on. So how is it that why is the Shastras, or especially Prabhupada's preaching, why is so much criticism of so many, just lots of criticism, it seems like.
Thank you. Thank you very much. This is the exact point, and I was thinking, when I said, okay, any question and comment, I was thinking I missed something. I was going to say something, but then I was broken. I forgot what I was going to say. This is the exact point what Prabhu was mentioning. So the devotee is supposed to be truthful and never speak unpleasing word. Right? In Bhagavad Gita, the austerity of the speech is speak the truth, but we should not speak in unpleasing way. And also we should regularly recite Shastras. So the devotees speak truth, but we speak in pleasing way. But sometimes, of course, Prabhupada is very cutting. And also Prabhupada said another place, to call the thief is not bad. It's just a fact. So it's not criticizing, that is another point. And then also, Prabhupada also said that what he can do, you cannot do. There is nothing older man cannot say, small children cannot do. So we cannot imitate Prabhupada, that we follow. So we have to be careful how Prabhupada used to be very critical. We can also do in the same way. We cannot do it because Prabhupada has such a potency and purities. We cannot say exactly how he said, but we carry Prabhupada's mission. So we try to approach the people in a humble way and polite way so that they can become attracted. Of course, Prabhupada, even though he was heavy, people get attracted. So that is Prabhupada. So if we have that, it's good. And if we don't have that, then we try to be humble. We have that before try to preach, we should become friend to them, because people don't want to hear someone who is, I don't even know you, who are you telling me this and that. But the first devotee should try to become a friend. It's not like try to preach, that's great, but try to become friends. The devotee friend of everyone, because devotee feel compassion. I'm suffering because of want of Krishna consciousness. They are also suffering because of want of Krishna consciousness. So they suffer suffering. So they try to become friend. It's not artificial, but they try to become friend, and then try to preach what is most important for them. And what I want to say was, today's purport, Prabhupada talking about in the age of Kali, there is ism. And there is a people who said, I have no religion. That person become prominent, and they become good people. And if someone said, I'm a religious person, then people think, oh, someone is dangerous even. So it's happening. I want to tell one dangerous story, cult in Japan. It's a real story. This is what happened after I left Japan, 1980s, middle of 1980s. There is a so-called religious group. It's called Om. The leader was Asai Shoko, that was his name. So Asai Shoko, he thought he is a god or empowered by God. And he was preaching to the people, do the yoga or Buddhism or different religion and perform austerities and go to the higher state. And those days, just like in the beginning of Hare Krishna, many people in America were searching for new thing, something which is not on this level, but something higher. So in Japan, 1980, in the middle of 1980, people like that. They are searching for something new, something higher than just what we can perceive. So Asai Shoko caught all these people, younger generation, and also very intellectual people. He attracts them. They are doing austerities and different yoga practice. And they use the word Om, they use the word Guru, they use the word initiation. They look like what we are using, same thing. But then in the middle of that austerity, someone died in that group. So they freak out, oh, if someone died and just come to the newspaper, it will be giving bad reputation. So they cover up. They just dig the ground, or they burn the body, and they just cover up. They didn't inform to the police. And then that was the first crime. And then after that, those people who were assigned to burn that body, one of them felt so bad. Later on, he thought, I cannot keep this, and I'm going to leave this society. So he was going to leave. Then Asai Shoko, the leader, ordered that person be killed. So that was second crime, so he was killed. And after there was investigation was going on, then the police was going to come to that religious group to search what is wrong, what is going on here. Then that time, there was an earthquake happened. So all the police force went to the earthquake. So they didn't come to that group. So Asai Shoko thought, okay, if there is a calamity happen, big calamity happen somewhere else, then they will not come to search our crime. So he thought, okay, I'm going to throw out the poison in the city, in the middle of the city. Then they will think about that, they will be preoccupied with that, they will not search for us. Then there was a heavy, strong poison. It's called sarin. I don't know if you know the sarin. That was even Hitler was hesitating to use strong poison. So somehow that under the Asai Shoko made the sarin, and then they throw the sarin in the middle of innocent people, and someone died and someone got injured. Then there was an investigation. But then after that, they did even more. There was in Japan, there is an underground train. Is there like so many trains all over, but it's subway. It's under the ground. So if you put that poison, it spread more because it's underground. So they put that sarin in that congested subway in the 8 o'clock in the morning, where that people go to the company, it's most crowded time and crowded place. And then slow down. And many people, just innocent people, they have nothing to do with this so many people die, and someone didn't die but got a heavy side effect for many, many years, and even now. So like that. So my father told me, are you okay? Because they use the word Om, initiation, Guru, and we also use. And my father thought I'm also kind of related to this dangerous cult, throwing the poison and killing the people. And then I don't know anything about this. It's nothing to do with us. And I tried to explain Hare Krishna is good people. But then devotee told me in those days to preach Krishna consciousness was so hard because everyone thought anything related to yoga, Om, initiation, Guru is dangerous, like a criminal. So they start saying, if someone wants to say, I'm doing religion, I'm doing yoga, I'm doing something with yoga and like India, they are like a dangerous people. So they have to say, I'm not doing any religion. Then people think, oh, you are a good citizen. It was like that. So this is exactly what Prabhupada said. in this age of Kali, if someone said, I have no religion, that is good people. If someone has no knowledge what is religion, but they are pretending I'm God or I am sent by God, messenger of God, then it creates such a havoc, and many people believe and many people suffer, and in this case many people actually die. And of course he was arrested, and then he and his main people, top people, was put in a death sentence. So thank you for your comment, because it was a point that I was going to say and I missed. Thank you. Is there any comment or question or any missing point? Yes, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji, for today's class. During the war of Kurukshetra, at so many different points, Krishna gave some means for the Pandavas to overcome their enemies. Sometimes he prevented the sun from going down so that Arjun could shoot his arrow. Then he gave a hint to Bhima how to kill Duryodhan. Then he arranged for the 5 arrows that Bhishma had taken a vow, tomorrow I'm going to kill the Pandavas. He arranged very cleverly for the arrows to. So people might say, this Krishna is very tricky. He's very deceptive. He does so many wrong things. So how can we understand Krishna's actions?
Thank you. That's a very important point that we should clarify. So after Duryodhana said, and according to what you said, Duryodhana said that thing, you are the person who was cheating. And after that, the demigod threw the flower on Duryodhana. Jai Duryodhana ki, Jai Duryodhana ki, he's dying glorious. And Pandavas, you killed the Duryodhana's General Bhima, Bhishma, Drona, Karna, and Brishwala unfairly. The voice from the sky came. So all the Pandavas, they won the battle, but they felt so bad. They did according to Krishna's instruction, but the demigod is saying from the unseen voices saying this. They felt so bad. And the Krishna, taking this opportunity, clarified. There was no way these 5 warriors could be killed. Duryodhana could never be killed, and Bhishma, Drona, and Brishwala, and Karna, they could not even by celestial power, they could not be killed. So there was only way to kill them, but by wrong way, that cheating. So there was no other way. And Krishna really wanted to establish Dharma, Yudhishthira, so this has to be done. And Duryodhana is suffering by his own karma, and then this has to be done. So something has to be done, was done. Fairly or not fairly, but this has to be done. So you should not feel bad. And sarvadharma parityaja, it could be sin, because unfair means they were killed. But Krishna said, I will protect them, don't worry. So Krishna took all the blame on himself and said, this has to be done. So I made arrangements that this should be done. So that much Krishna was eager. Krishna didn't mind to take the blame on him, but then this has to be done, and Yudhishthira Maharaj has to be established. Like a Bhaktavasara, that's famous story, that the Bhima and Bhishma Dev, the Chakra, Krishna went to Chakra to attack Bhishma, and then it's written in the Purport on Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna preferred to be called Bhaktavasara than religious person. So that was Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, 2 minutes before 9 o'clock. If there is any question or comment, if not, then I'm going to close the class. Okay. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai go Premanande Hari Hari Bo.